SpiderMan 96 here, and today I thought we'd have a throwback video and just have a look at some of the, well, certainly where my journey with Marvel Legends and the 6-inch scale started with Toybiz way back in 2002 or 2001. I think it was 2002 actually. I have to check that. But yeah, this was the Spider-Man Classics first wave, the Series 1. And I remember getting some of these as a kid. I picked this one up quite recently, about a year ago, simply because my friend had that when I was a kid. I was so jealous. It's such a good figure. But I just want to have a quick look at each one, and yeah, here we go. Before I start actually looking at these figures, I just want to, I found this underneath a lot of things in my man cave, which is actually one of the original back packaging of one of the figures. I think this was the one that came with the Spider-Man there. So you can see the first wave there, and some really cool shots. You can see they all came with bases. Unfortunately, over time, I've lost the bases for the Eddie Brock changing to Venom figure and the Black Suit Spider-Man, but I do still have the bases for Spider-Man and for Man Spider at the end there. I miss this packaging, I really do. When we got a full kind of thing there as a kid, I remember reading this and being very excited about getting the figures. So yeah, if you want to read all that, you can pause the video there, and obviously we can see the giant that was Toybiz made these figures. So I'm gonna crack on first of all with the Spider. So here is the first figure from the wave. This is the Spider-Man, which I'm still trying to suss out what head sculpt they were going for there, what kind of design they were going for. I like to think it's Tom McFarlane, but let's be honest, it's not quite. But this, for those people like myself that weren't lucky enough to get the figure that we call the Todd McFarlane figure, a few years later than this was released, this is the one that I call my Todd McFarlane figure. And it just looks so good, especially for the time. You've got to remember these came out nearly 20 years ago now. Just look at that. You know, we don't get this kind of detail anymore on a Spider-Man figure. You look at the web, it's all indented into the costume. It just looks really cool. And this is how I imagine Spider-Man when I think of Spider-Man in the comics and in the cartoon format. Articulation is very dated now, but for the time was incredible. You know, we get every joint you can think of really. We've got toe articulation, nothing we get now. We don't get the ankle rocker, or the pivot as some people may call it, but we do get quite a good forward and back motion. And the knee, we get double jointed knees, which is revolutionary for the time. It's very stiff, but we can turn the boot. We get a thigh swivel. We get, yeah, just over 90 degrees outwards and 90 degrees forward. We don't get any back. We get a waist swivel there. We get a ab rotation joint, which is, I still think, yeah, it's very kind of ahead of its time. See, I quite like that. Get rotation at the neck. The neck is a bit of a weird joint, and the head doesn't rotate. It's just the whole neck, and the head becomes a piece. But you can see they've been made as two separate pieces there. And the arm rotate 360 degrees out, just under 90 degrees, about 80 degrees. We have a I can't tell if that's a single or a double, but we do get an elbow hinge, and we twist the arm, and we have finger articulation for the whipping hands. I mean, yeah, as far as it goes, this figure is a piece of Marvel Legends history. It's a Spider-Man classic. It's pretty good. We also got the base of this guy. Unfortunately, it did come with a thing that sticks out, so you could hang it on the wall right there. It does say 2001 here, but I still am convinced it came out in 2002. And yeah, I mean, for a first base, it's quite cool. We get the little Peter Parker's camera there, and obviously I'm guessing this is sort of meant to be the light thing that would come up on his waist, on the belt, when we saw the old Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby, John Romita, all that kind of thing in the very early years. But yeah, very good figure. Yeah, move on to the next one. And next up we have the Venom, which an odd choice of design for a first Venom figure that they brought out, but you know, it's interesting, and I do really like the colouring on this. You know, I like the solid black. I love the way the spider's painted, but I just wish we got. I just wish it was just a Venom figure. I think it would really hold up quite well today, as opposed to this kind of. I mean, what is? It looks like a flipping alligator or something, man. Like I don't understand. But if you look really closely in there, you can just see Eddie Brock's face, which doesn't really like Eddie Brock, but it's I'm still glad to have that. The teeth look really cool, by the way they were going in different directions. But I think they should have gone for a half face design where the symbiote was coming around from one of the sides of the face. And yeah, I mean, it's just quite an interesting piece, and I do like having it in my collection, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about the figure in that sense, but yeah, it's just a bit different. So we get foot articulation there. It's much more like a doll, this kind of thing. It's quite limited. We get a single joint at the knee. We do get quite a good range of motion on the leg. It goes up very high, which I don't really understand. So yeah, it's not too bad. And then we just get a waist swivel. No ab crunch or anything like that. The arm comes in. It's one of the ball joints, it rotates everywhere. No real, well, I suppose, no, we do get a twist there, but no way of pulling it out or in, and the hand rotates, and yeah, the same kind of deal on the other side there as well. I don't hate the figure. It was awesome for its time. It's just a shame we didn't get an actual Venom figure that was just a straight Venom. But there we go, beggars can't be choosers, eh? Run on to the next figure. Next up we have the black suited Spider-Man, the black costume, the costume we all want to see. Not the best version now, but at the time I loved this figure. I always wanted the black costume. I was obsessed with the black costume in the Spider-Man animated series, which I actually have the box set of, so I'm that cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I was obsessed with this costume. It just looks so cool, and I love the idea of Spider-Man having some dark storylines, especially now. Wish we could see that in the movies a bit more. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same articulation as the Spider-Man I showed earlier, so I'm not going to go through it all. Yeah, I mean, it's very sleek looking. The only quibble I would have with this is the head sculpt. I wish we could have got maybe a more rigid eye type, maybe the same kind of eyes shape as the one we got with the Spider-Man, just because I think it would just make the figure pop a bit more. And the head, again, is a bit odd, but for the time and for nostalgia value, I love this figure. But that's all I really have to say about it. It's just a really cool piece. Yeah. And now we have my personal favourite of the wave of the series. This is the Man Spider figure that came out along with the other three. And I love this figure so much. I just feel like it's got such a... It's beyond its time. It really is. You got all the arms, and all the arms are different. The way the costume's ripped just looks perfect. This was actually my earliest memory of the cartoon, because that's how I got into the cartoon. I got into the cartoon first, and then I got into the comics and the movies. Was actually the episode where Punisher is going after this guy, and I remember scaring the bejesus out of me. But I just think it's really cool. I mean, the torso piece is just one straight piece, understandably. You know, because he's so tall, it's got to have some kind of structure to it. The legs on their own, they twist quite a lot actually, and there's no real twist on the leg, so they are just solid pieces. But understandably, again, this is much more a model. This is what I think they were trying to bridge through. They're trying to get through that articulation point to get an articulated figure and a model, and to make it, you know, appealing to adult collectors. The head actually has a joint that rocks forward and back. It's 360 motion. You know, we can twist it right around, and the part of the mask that's ripped off is actually a separate piece. So I don't know if you can see that. See how it twists right around, and then each arm does a 360, and it's connected. You just look at the back there as well. You can just see how much detail and how much care has gone into this figure. I love the fact that all the hands are different, at different stages of kind of the change from going from Spider-Man, Peter Parker to Man Spider. We get quite a cool base with this as well. There was a river piece that linked on the top here, which looked quite cool, but unfortunately over time, me being a very young kid, probably about 7 or 8 when I had this, it has been lost unfortunately, but it is a really cool base, and a lot of, you can tell so much love and care has gone into designing this, which is something we didn't really see at the beginning of Hasbro's run, but we are starting to see now. So Hasbro are starting to up their game. But yeah, such an awesome figure. I would definitely like to see what Hasbro would do as a re-release of this. Maybe it could be a bath. Yeah, it just looks so cool. But yeah. So I guess the question is, do these guys stand at the test of time? I mean, yes and no. I mean, you gotta remember when these came out, it was a new thing. Only releasing SpiderMan in 5 or 6 points of articulation, and they were like 5-inch figures, if not smaller than that. So this was a revolutionary step for action figure collectors and for toys in general. So yeah, I think it is a big step, but obviously now these sub figures are quite dated. However, the sculpts, we don't see these anymore, some of the texture and details on some of these figures. So yeah, I mean, it was a valiant effort, and it's still, I'm very proud to have it in my collection now. But yeah, I mean, the next thing I'm going to have a review of will be going back to the MCU thing, but every week I'm going to try and deliver one of these throwback figure videos, whether it be with Marvel Legends. It won't just all be Marvel I do on this channel. I'll be doing some other stuff. I've got the recent Todd McFarlane Toys Harry Potter figures to review. So yeah, I'll be getting back with that soon. So thanks for watching, guys, and bye.